You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, a dad and his two sons are packing their bags and heading to Vegas for this Sunday's big game. Our very own Fernanda Silva will share their story.
Plus, Miami, Oklahoma has been chosen as the site of a new manufacturing facility.
And take a look at this sunrise. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Clouds will be rolling in today. Winds increasing, temperatures following suit. We'll have a look at that forecast, get you out the door. Coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock on this Wednesday morning, and it is hard to believe the Super Bowl is right around the corner. It seemed like it was going to take forever to get here, and here it is.
Just a few more days.
Yeah, and it's going to be a heck of a matchup.
Right?
You know, we've talked about the whole 49ers thing in the last Super Bowl where they played the Chiefs. I think they're going to be coming for some revenge. They're going to be playing really hard. I think it's going to be a great game. I still think we're going to be, victorious.
Oh, yes.
But I think that that's just going to make them play harder, at both sides. And I think it's just going to make for an even, the most fantastic Super Bowl in years.
It's going to be wonderful, great commercials, and a great halftime show.
Absolutely.
All right.
And somebody here locally going out there for that.
Huge deal. A Joplin family is ready to board their flight to the Super Bowl. Ryan Springer, his dad and son are packing for Vegas, where they will watch in person the Chiefs play against the 49ers this weekend.
KOAM's Fernanda Silva has more on how they're preparing for the trip.
It was like the fourth quarter and we were ahead and there was like a minute to go and I'm just sitting there on the couch and I can hear my grandpa go, "Well, what are the tickets looking like?"
Just after the end of the AFC Championship game, Samuel Springer saw his dad, Ryan, and his granddad, Ron, setting everything up for a once-in-a-lifetime trip.
It was kind of quick, actually. We had the thing booked in about 2.5 hours.
I was in shock for a little bit after me seeing how much the tickets were going. I was in shock. We went for it.
With each ticket being bought for about $9,000, Sam was not the only one who was shocked.
Downstairs is your wife.
Uh-huh.
How does she feel about you spending all the money with the Chiefs?
Yeah, well, she looks at what am I getting? so it's kind of a double expense for me because I usually, find something that she likes or something she wants to go do.
Ryan says the money to go to the Super Bowl comes from years of savings.
It's costing my dad an arm and a leg, and it's costing me an arm. Kind of money that we've had saved that we're going to invest in the Super Bowl.
A week after celebrating his 15th birthday, Sam knows the memories created on his second Super Bowl will be cherished for a long time.
Like, at the age I am, it's hard to, put, different life experience compared to this. But I feel like in the future, this is definitely coming up.
In Joplin, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
And Chiefs fans had to wait 50 years between their first two Super Bowl wins. But young Samuel Springer is lucky. He will see the team play for their fourth Super Bowl in 5 years, for the second time in person.
Absolutely incredible. And they've just had an incredible last few seasons for the Chiefs going on.
Once in a lifetime opportunity.
Absolutely.
That's for sure.
And of course, the folks in Kansas City all fired up for this, getting ready.
So
and Kansas
excited.
City making big celebrations each time. Each time they go, it's like a whole new situation for them.
I can't wait.
It's very exciting. Of course, that action, you'll catch it right here Sunday on KOAM. You'll see Super Bowl play out with the Chiefs and the 49ers, and we are seeing a Super Bowl of weather taking place in terms of we've got wind, we've got clouds, we've got really warm temperatures. Let's take a look at the sunrise real quick. Take a look at that. Is that not absolutely beautiful? That is our camera at 7th it's at 7th and Joplin. It's on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown. It looks absolutely gorgeous out there. We're talking Bob Ross type painting. Right there, looking beautiful. It's going to be breezy today. It's going to be warmer today. Looking at the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line. For you folks out there getting their day started on a beautiful Friday. So, my goodness, now I'm getting too close to ready for the Super Bowl. It is beautiful Wednesday. Temperatures out east, we're upper 30s, low 40s. The further west you go, we're still holding on to mid to upper 40s out there. We're going to be cloudy. could see a few peaks of sun like we're seeing now as the day progresses. Winds out of the south gusting upwards of around 30 miles an hour, so be prepared for that. And our highs today right around the mid-60s. We're going to be warmer and breezier for our Thursday, and then we're cooling down this weekend. We'll take a look at all that in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Caitlin?
Well, new details released concerning yesterday's Joplin school bus fire with children on board. The driver and all the children made it off safely. While the cause of the fire is still under investigation, we did learn more about its inspection history. This is video from the scene yesterday on South Range Line, just off I-44. Investigators say the fire started in the engine compartment around 3 p.m. We spoke with the Joplin Schools Assistant Superintendent of Operations, Matt Harding, and he says that the bus driver recognized the seriousness of the situation, radioed it in, and got the children quickly off the bus. Harding says this bus model is one of the older ones the district owns.
This is an older bus that this happened to, and so right now they're in the process of kind of looking to see what happened with this one. But they immediately went and checked all the other buses that have a similar engine style to see if, either they can find out what the issue is and contact the manufacturer and find out if they have any ideas what the issue may have been.
Harding says every bus is inspected twice a year. This one was last checked in December. He also says Joplin has a 20-year record of scoring 90% or higher on the Missouri Highway Patrol testing. Those inspections include the entire fleet every spring. And a Joplin church yesterday hosted a fundraiser to support local refugees and immigrants. First Presbyterian Church of Joplin hosted a luncheon for $8 a plate. All of the proceeds from the event go to the organization RAISE. They help provide refugees and immigrants with resources and education to help them in their transition to a new home.
Is a number of different integration type events and programs, and what that is focused on is creating community ties between our refugee clients and members of the greater Joplin area. So we're raising funds to be able to sponsor events such as
the First Presbyterian Church hosts charity luncheons every month during the school year. And a new manufacturing facility and jobs are coming to Miami, Oklahoma. The announcement came at a ribbon-cutting ceremony yesterday afternoon. Valencia Pipe Company is the latest addition to Miami, Oklahoma. The California-based company will now be able to access a whole new part of the country. This facility will create large septic and water tanks. The Miami city manager says that the city couldn't be more pleased with the addition.
Today's event is just a huge deal for us to have these guys pick us out of all the locations they could have chose. They chose Miami, Oklahoma. And so we've really knew that being a small pond, we had to take on this big fish and say, how do we be what they need us to be? And that is to be there for them to make this easy.
The facility will be able to employ up to 25 people within its first year, but Durbin says the hope is to expand and grow. Up next, will there be rain? Chris will have your full look at your forecast.
This is Scott with Windows for Less. With springtime in mind, so give us a call today to schedule your free at-home estimate. If you want the best for less, call Windows for Less.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News 710. Now on this Wednesday morning, taking a live look from our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. As the sun continues to rise, the coloring not as pretty as it was just a few minutes ago, but still not a bad start to the day. We're seeing those clouds increase, and they will continue to do so as we go through our Wednesday. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin also looking pretty good. We're going to see winds begin to increase today, and that will continue with us today, tomorrow, and at least into Friday. Southerly winds today gusting upwards of about 30 miles an hour, and then we go overnight and into tomorrow morning, and those winds could gust as high as 45 miles an hour out of the south still. But be aware of this if you're traveling, especially on any east-west roadways. And it's going to stay breezy through Thursday night into our Friday as well. By Friday, those wind gusts, for some of us, they tone down just a little bit, but for others, we could still see them pushing upwards of 30, maybe 35 miles an hour as we head into our Friday. So you've just got to be careful out there, especially if you're driving a high-profile vehicle with these winds gusting as high as they are. Our camera 7th and range line, again, it looked beautiful a moment ago, but the sun has come up just enough that but the clouds are blocking that light. It is 41 in Joplin, feeling like 38 with an east-southeast breeze at 5 with those mostly cloudy skies. Further east you go, it's a little cooler. We got some upper 30s, some low 40s, and then as you head west, hanging on to the mid to upper 40s out there. So a very mild start for us, as we should be in the 20s for this time of year, and we are not near that right now. Cloudy skies through today. Again, a few peaks of sun will be possible here and there, but I think overall we're looking at just kind of general cloud cover. That doesn't stop us from warming up, though. Mid-50s by late morning, and the wind's really expected to pick up, say, between 8 and 9 o'clock this morning. Breezy through the afternoon, cloudy, maybe again a few peaks of sunshine here and there, but again warmer than yesterday as well, right around the mid-60s for our highs. As we head into tonight, cloudy skies initially, and we'll go mostly cloudy overnight. We're actually going to see some clearing, and we'll fall back into the low 50s. And again, we should be in the 20s for our lows. We should be in the low 40s for our highs. We're 10 degrees above our average high for our lows tonight. That's how far above average we are and how far above average we've been and continue to be. All right, tomorrow, again, rain chances have dropped, unfortunately, so we're only looking at maybe some isolated showers. Most of us will be dry, and we'll actually see a little more sunshine tomorrow than we do today. So we're talking mid-upper 60s Thursday, low to mid-60s again on Friday. Friday, similar to yesterday, we'll start with just a few clouds, and they'll gradually increase throughout the day. We're a little cooler Saturday, Sunday, more rain chances on Sunday, back in the low 40s, and as we head into the start of next week, temperatures back above normal. That was a slow start, but still back into the low 50s out there. Could even see the upper 50s toward the end of next week, with just kind of a mix of sun and clouds each day next week. Let's check your forecast. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Choice of sauce, bottomless salad, or our Italian nachos and bread for only $15.99.
Welcome back. Joined with us is the one and only Chucky, here to make a special Super Bowl dip. Tell us, what are you making today?
We're going to make raspberry chipotle dip today.
All right. Now, is that a fan favorite on the big day?
It is. It's one of the, you know, if you're from K-State, if you're a K-Stater, then there's a little restaurant there that serves it like this. And so this is sort of my version of it. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's very popular there.
Yeah. That tie-in.
Yeah. So I use a little iron skillet. You don't have to if you have a casserole dish or whatever, you can use that. So in there I have an 8-ounce block of cream cheese. I've already softened it a little bit. And then this is a can of chipotles in adobo sauce, and so like they're not very pretty food, you know. But
I think it's lovely. Is it spicy though?
It is a little spicy, not like on fire hot spicy, but it brings a little pepper nonsense to the
love that though.
So it comes in a can, and so when I make it, I just use the tablespoon or so, whatever it takes to make it, and then I put the rest in a little container and freeze it so that you don't have to waste it.
Smart.
It's not like it's expensive, but you know, no sense in wasting the food, right?
Okay, so a little goes a long way.
Yeah, so I like to use a little fork to smash it up so it goes everywhere instead of because it is like a little pepper, you know. So I just
like a little paste.
Yeah. So I like to smash it up a little bit, and then I have some homemade raspberry jam. But of course, there's you obviously use store bought. My friend from North Dakota gave me this. Her mom made it. So,
I love that.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to get to share it. So so a little bit of that. I'm not gonna measure this too carefully. It's if you want it sweeter but more jam. If you don't,
and spicy.
Yes, which and creamy, my favorite.
Yes.
And actually, these are a little smoky too. The chipotle peppers are a little smoky, so you really kind of get all the things.
Oh, this is great.
Yeah, and it's the right color also, right?
Of course, always on color.
Well, cheese. I also add a little bit of cumin in mine to give it a little bit of a little Mexican flavor, so a little bit of that. Stir it all up. Then we're going to add it on top of our cream cheese block. Sorry, I'm blocking you here.
No, we got that shot. Look at that.
So we're going to add a little bit of that on there. Spread it around so everybody gets some. Oh, my cumin's awful heavy on my fork there, so hopefully I got some in the dish, right? Right. Then we put black beans on it.
All right. Didn't see that one coming.
I know, it's sneaky like that. So like about a half of a can. I'm making only one block. If you're going to have a big party, like a big Super Bowl party, you have a lot of friends. I don't have a lot of friends. But if you have a lot of friends, you can obviously double all the things. And then you can use your whole can of beans.
All right.
And then we're going to sprinkle with a little mozzarella. Mozzarella is a really neutral, like kind of soft flavored cheese, but it does add some richness to it.
Yeah, because you got the cream cheese already.
I know.
Always need a little bit more cheese on top.
Yeah, right. So then you throw this in the oven
Pretty easy. So you bake it for how long?
About just until the cheese gets brown and it melts a little bit. So 10-15 minutes is usually enough.
All right. And where can people go to get this recipe?
LaughingRoosterEats.com.
All right, well, stick around because we'll have the finished end result when we come back after the short break.
100, February 18th on Fox.
Hey, welcome back. We have Chucky with us, and today we are making the raspberry chipotle dip. Now, we put all the ingredients together. This is obviously a favorite among Super Bowl. You always have to have the dips.
Yes, lots
right?
of dips.
And so it's good to go. And then you garnish it?
Yeah. So this is uneven, sorry. A little bit of green onion. It just adds a little touch of color. If you're not a green onion person, you can certainly use like a parsley.
Green onion's the best though.
Right? You could certainly use parsley though if you're not a green onion person. Or a little bit of cilantro would be good in here. It gives a little more, carries off a little bit more of the Mexican flavor.
Oh, yes.
So a little bit of that for a little punch of color.
I love it.
Yeah.
So many flavors are going on right now. Cheesy, salty, spicy, sweet, savory.
Smoky.
Smoky.
Yeah, it's everything. It's everything.
And it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Easy to dip.
Again, easy to double. If you have a big group, I think it's a fun dip.
And
I think you guys
are pretty cheap too.
That's
right?
You know what? I think sometimes when we get invited to those things, you're like, gosh, like my grocery budget.
Yeah.
And so this is a really inexpensive. Actually, the reason I was inspired to make this one myself with the chipotle is because you can buy like a pour on stuff, but it's like $9 a bottle. I was like, I'm not.
No, thank you.
I can do this. I can do this. So
see that. And now you are the queen of dips. I mean, you are definitely the hostess with the mostest this Super Bowl season. Talk about some of the other dips that we can find on your website.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember, we did that dill pickle cheese ball. Do you remember that? We did that one together.
Yes.
So that's a great one for this, and that's a really fun dip to have. Nobody else will be bringing. Well, maybe somebody in the 4 states will be bringing that dip. I don't know. You better talk. But we have that one. We have a couple other cheese balls. We have this dip. There's all kinds of dips and appetizers that you could take.
Yeah.
There's some buffalo chicken. That's delicious. Yeah, go check them out. It's fantastic.
Get some cheese. Get some buffalo sauce.
Yeah.
Throw some chicken on it.
Do LaughingRoosterEats.com. You'll get something to do.
Yeah. That's where we're going for all of our Super Bowl cooking.
Definitely.
All right. Yeah. Well, Chucky, as always, thank you so much for being here. You're a delight. And we'll be right back with more news after this.
And style to your space. Come shop with us at Miss Daisy's Home and Decor and give your home the makeover it deserves.
You're watching the 4 States Most Watched News.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. The time now is 7:26 a.m. I'm Caitlin O'Shaughnessy. Spirit Week in our area continues as we near kickoff to Super Bowl 58. Yesterday, students at the Intermediate School Building in Carl Junction celebrated Travis and Taylor Day. Kids dressed as either Travis Kelce or Taylor Swift and made their excitement known. One Chiefs fan explained his reasons for dressing like number 87.
Because Travis Kelce is like the hype player of the team. He's always the one, like, if anybody messes up, he's always the one saying, okay, let's keep going, it's fine, we're still in this, like what they did last game against the Ravens.
And you can watch the defending champs take on the San Francisco 49ers in Super Bowl 58 this Sunday right here on CBS. We're on Fox. Just kidding. CBS at KOAM. And Freeman Health yesterday revealed the theme for the 2024 5K and Walk for Autism. For the 5th straight year, these combined events raise funds to support program development and scholarship assistance for the Bill and Virginia Luffen Center for Autism. Officials say the money generated goes directly to benefit the kids.
It's very important. We have some amazing staff here, and we have amazing services at Luffen Center, and those services do cost money, and so this event helps to provide those monies that we're able to give the kids the services they need at Luffen Center.
The first place winner will be able to choose next year's theme. This year's theme, Walk, Run, and Roar, featuring dinosaurs. And a Springfield teen's wish will soon come true thanks to a Make-A-Wish program. Preston Hardiman, who recently underwent an unexpected heart transplant, was surprised after school yesterday to see staff and volunteers setting up one of his true wishes, a Titan Fitness home gym. For Preston, the gym is a symbol of perseverance.
The time I had away from my family and my friends and stuff, like, it was taken away from me from my heart stuff, and just to have this is gonna be, I don't know, I feel like I can bring some of that back.
Make-A-Wish Missouri and Kansas teamed up to make Preston's wish come true. And the House rejected an Israel aid bill on Tuesday, the $17.6 billion aid bill to help the embattled Middle Eastern ally came in with a vote of 250 to 180, short of the two-thirds majority needed to pass. Democrats overwhelmingly voting against it as critics in both parties joined together to squash it. The results of the vote being seen as a major blow for Speaker Mike Johnson, who opposed Democratic efforts to combine new Israel funding with other security provisions such as aid for Ukraine.
We've got ourselves a pretty decent day lined up. It's going to be cloudy, it's going to be breezy, but it'll be warmer than what we saw yesterday. This is our camera on top of the Cornell Complex in downtown Joplin. The sun just below, in between some cloud breaks out there, so getting a little sunlight, although it is mostly cloudy. And that'll be kind of the trend today. We're looking at just cloudy skies, but we could still see a few peaks of sunshine here and there. 20th and Range Line, MoDOT camera there, looking pretty good as folks get their day underway. And temperatures around the region, not too shabby out there. We've got some low 40s and a couple upper 30s out east, and the further west you go, we're still holding into the mid to upper 40s across the area. So a very mild start, as again, we're supposed to be into the 20s for our lows. As we go through the rest of today, again, cloudy skies expected, although again, a few breaks of sunshine will be possible, and it's going to be breezy. South winds gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour out there. It's also going to be warm as we go back to the mid 60s, maybe even some upper 60s for our highs today. We're going to be warmer yet tomorrow. We're also going to be windier, and we do have at least a chance of an isolated shower or two. And we will talk about all that in the full forecast a little later. Caitlin?
Thanks, Chris. Well, how long could you put up with somebody? In the spirit of Valentine's Day, a Fort Scott, Kansas couple shares how they managed 70 years of marriage. KOAM's Amber Jenkins has the love story.
Oh, that's kind of a loaded question, isn't it?
Donald and Beverly Malone were married in 1954. The high school sweetheart's love evolved into 3 sons, multiple grandkids, and a cozy home in Fort Scott, Kansas. The Malones attribute their 70 years together to just being there for each other.
Usually like the same things all the time. But anybody that tells you that their marriage is just fun and games all the time, that's not right. You have to work at it.
She's been the backbone, you might say, because she has helped me through things, and
I think it's a mutual thing.
It is.
A friend to build a life with, or just rake some leaves. The Malones say working on your marriage is vital for longevity, but staying active together is just as important.
We've got into flower gardening a lot. We do a lot of flower gardening and yard work.
And we don't keep up too much on the technology. We have to wait till the grandkids come in to do something for us.
Reaching 70 years together is a milestone for Beverly.
I was hoping that we would get to 70 because my grandparents, one set of grandparents had 60 years and the other grandparents had 70 years. So I was sure hoping that we would get to 70.
And here's to many more. Reporting in Fort Scott, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
And although their anniversary is in January, Donald and Beverly Malone plan on celebrating their 70th wedding anniversary in April when the weather is nicer. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Safety reports on the Alaska Airlines door blowout are starting to come in. We'll have the details on what lies ahead for Boeing.
He pointed a gun to me and said, "This is the day you die," and he shot me.
48 hours today at 9, right here on Fox 14.
Welcome back. Higher Power Garage will be hosting its Night of Worship this Saturday, February 10th. Mike Gideon, the president of the organization, is with us to share what we can expect this Saturday. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you.
All right, so let's back it up a little. Let's hear what you guys do with Higher Power Garage.
Well, Higher Power Garage is a low-cost auto repair shop. We work primarily with single-parent families, with low-income families, with our veterans, and then those on fixed income with the cost of auto repair and transportation.
That's incredible because it's so expensive. I mean, you bring your car into the shop, you're looking at thousands of dollars, and people need that, you know, to take their kids to school, to go to work. So this service is just incredible.
Yeah, sometimes it comes down to a decision between paying the electric bill or the rent or getting their car fixed so they can go to work. And we want to be the bridge in that situation.
That's incredible. And how do you guys, afford to keep doing this great service?
We do this through funding from our community. We have some great supporters. Uncommon Life Church has been a great supporter for us. We've run several grants. We have several families that support us on a monthly basis. So we're very blessed in that area.
It's such a great concept. I mean, I've never heard of it. Of all the places I've lived, this is so special. So love that you guys are doing that.
Thank you.
And you have a special event, I guess, on Saturday. Tell us about that.
We have a night of worship. We have spent the last 4 years really asking God for direction in our community, praying for us and praying with us and to help us to meet our needs. And we wanted to take a moment and just share the stories of how God has used an auto repair shop to make a difference in our community. We're just going to have a great evening of worship and fellowship. The event is completely free. It starts at 6 o'clock. Christ Church of Oronogo's worship team is supplying the worship music. Leanna Tillman is going to be singing. She's a local singer. And then Sergio Rizzo is going to MC for us. It's just going to be a fun night.
That sounds incredible. And do you guys usually put on events like this?
Typically, no. This is the first one. And we just really felt led we were really seeking direction on what to do. And we really felt that it was important that we share with our community what God's been doing with us and include our community in that.
Are there any stories that you can share with us ahead of time, so a little preview?
We've just got so many stories of different situations where a single mom couldn't afford to get her car or the brakes fixed on her car, and she was having to drive them with unsafe brakes, and fix her brakes or pay her electric bill. And so she came to us. We were able to meet the need and get her car safe and reliable and back on the road, keep her moving forward in her life. I sat with a single lady yesterday that was just telling us how she had lost her daughter and her husband within a couple months of each other and just really struggling in that time and was needing some assistance and direction. And we're able to provide that. So God just uses us in a whole host of ways.
Absolutely. If we have a viewer out there right now that is struggling, how could they use your services? Do they need to apply for this?
They apply for our services through our website, higherpowergarage.org, and there you'll find our programs and all of our information about what's required in those programs, and then we'll be in contact with you. The application is there. Submit the application, and then we'll be in contact with you to set up the interview and evaluation of the car.
All right. And one last time, for those that didn't catch it, tell us again, day and time and place of Saturday's event.
This Saturday night, February 10th, 6 o'clock, Ozark Christian College Chapel. And it's a free event. Come out and just celebrate with us. It's going to be a really amazing evening.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, Mike. Appreciate it. And for you at home, stick around because we got more news coming up.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll get right to the point.
Jeff, only Thursday on Fox.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It is now 7:41 on this Wednesday morning, taking a live look at our camera on the Grinnell Complex downtown Joplin. As mentioned, the clouds are going to fill in quickly, and that is exactly what they're doing. And we're looking at a cloudy day today, although we may still see a peak of sunshine or two here and there. MoDOT camera 20th and Range Line looking very gray, very dreary, but it's otherwise going to be a pretty pleasant day aside from the wind and the clouds. We're looking to be warmer today than what we were yesterday. So first, let's talk about the wind. We are talking wind gusts today out of the south pushing 25 to 30 miles an hour out there. So if you're traveling again on any east-west roadways, especially in a high-profile vehicle, you need to be aware of that. Then as we go overnight and into our morning rush tomorrow, we're looking at wind gusts pushing upwards of 45 miles an hour, still out of the south. So again, you've got to be prepared, especially if you're driving a high-profile vehicle or one that's a little more susceptible to the wind. You need to be prepared for those gusty winds because they're going to last throughout the day Thursday, well, throughout today, tonight, tomorrow night, and even into our Friday. Now, by Friday, some of the wind gusts for some of us ease up a bit, but others still looking at gusts of 30 to 35 miles an hour out there on our Friday. We're at 41 in Joplin. Again, I've mentioned these reports come from the airport, so I'm not sure who at the airport is seeing clear skies. but they are obviously not. It is cloudy, east-southeast breeze at about 5 miles an hour. Temperatures around the region, not too bad. We're a little cooler off to the east. Still got upper 30s, Grove and Anderson, low to mid 40s. And as you head west, still holding on to mid to upper 40s out there ahead of another well above average day for us. Cloudy skies, and again, maybe a few peaks of sun here and there. The winds will really start to pick up between about 9, 10 o'clock this morning. And we're going to go mid 50s. Highs by late morning, rather. Highs today, mid 60s out there. Cloudy skies and breezy. And we will remain breezy through the evening and overnight hours as well. And then we'll actually see a little bit of clearing and go mostly cloudy tonight with our overnight lows back into the low 50s when they should be in the 20s. In fact, our overnight lows are warmer than where our average highs should be. So we're well above average out there for sure. Again, breezy tomorrow. Our shower chances, unfortunately, have dropped out there. So we could still see some isolated showers on our Thursday, but I think most of us, unfortunately, are going to stay dry. We're going to be warm, mid-upper 60s, and again, breezy. Not bad on Friday, still breezy. Friday, like yesterday, clouds will gradually increase through the day, so we'll start with clearer skies and end with cloudier skies. A little cooler this weekend, back to normal by Sunday with some additional rain chances, and as we head into next week, we'll have mixes of sun and clouds out there, but temperatures back above average into the low to mid-50s and maybe even the upper 50s by the end of next week. Let's check your forecast. We're going to send it over to Caitlin now for Consumer Watch.
Thanks, Chris. Well, the IRS is expecting to bring in billions of dollars more in unpaid and overdue taxes. A report from the Treasury Department and the IRS shows the agency could collect up to $561 billion in tax revenue within the next decade. The revenue is expected to increase thanks to stepped-up enforcement, which is funded by the Inflation Reduction Act. The IRS reports the difference between taxes owed and taxes paid has climbed to more than $600 billion each year. Enforcement is meant to be targeted toward millionaires, as Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen advises the agency to not increase audits on those who make less than $400,000 a year. And some U.S.-based retailers are wary of potential shipping delays and price spikes. And retail experts say back to school and holiday shopping later this year could be impacted by the current Iran-backed attacks in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. Some of the companies exposed to the Red Sea shipping crisis include Target, Walmart, Costco, and IKEA. Houthi militants in Yemen have been firing at commercial vessels in support of Palestine amidst the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. Retailers are reportedly set to enter a renewal season for shipping contracts, but retail experts say the ongoing war has made it difficult to negotiate during a time of uncertainty. And the first report on the Alaska Airlines plane door blowout came out yesterday, just as the head of the Federal Aviation Administration was taking tough questions on Capitol Hill. From Washington, Fox News correspondent Rebecca Kester reports.
From a door panel flying off mid-flight to loose bolts on planes, recently it's been anything but smooth sailing for the airline industry.
We just need to assure the American public that flying is safe.
Lawmakers hope to do that by questioning the head of the FAA and ensuring Boeing will be held accountable for its mechanical failures.
Going forward, we will have more boots on the ground, closely scrutinizing and monitoring production and manufacturing activities.
The planes having issues are Boeing 737 MAX 9 jets. They're used by Alaska and United Airlines in the U.S. The FAA temporarily grounded the planes after the door blowout incident, but after inspections, most of the jets are back in service.
Since they're not keeping you safe, you need to not get on the planes.
That's the warning from Nadia Milleron, who lost her daughter in a 2019 Boeing 737 MAX 8 plane crash. She blames Boeing's rush to put out planes for her daughter's death.
These planes should be grounded right now by the FAA.
Boeing employees are encouraged to use our FAA hotline to report any safety concerns.
Lawmakers are also concerned about the ongoing pilot shortage and want to raise the mandatory retirement age from 65 to 67. But the FAA administrator cautions additional research needs to be done.
Now more than ever, American aviation and FAA need some bold direction from Congress.
Just this week, Boeing discovered another problem, this time with misdrilled holes on 737 MAX jets waiting to be delivered to airlines. The issue does not impact planes that are currently flying. In Washington, Rebecca Kester, Fox News.
And that's our Consumer Watch this morning. Now let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
settle for less than the best? Crock Cans Gigabit.
Next, Tamron Hall. Tamron Hall, this morning at 10, right here on Fox 14.
3 Louisiana men are being honored for their brave choices made during a time of segregation.
Ty Price shares the impact these 3 men left on their community.
In the 1950s, 3 amazing individuals by the names of Bernard Lewis, Philip Stelly, and Julius Guillory joined the Opelousas Police Department during a time of racial segregation. As a result, they were honored for their contributions to the community. During the ceremony, the families of each officer gave their remarks on how they have been impacted by their legacies. A couple of Lewis's family members were there. Bernard Lewis's grandson, Bernard Lewis III, says his grandfather's testament to inspire and uplift resonates with him.
I've heard a lot of stories about my grandfather from being a young man to the age I am now. I'm still hearing stories. And it's just a beautiful thing to see that somebody related to me was able to make a big difference in his community in his time.
Donovan Lewis says these group of men have shaped a narrative of resilience and progress for those behind them.
Them being first black police officers is a small portion of what they left on in as far as impact on this city, on the people of this city, on people who've been in this city, who've left this city, you know. And I learned a long time ago that it's not what you leave people, it's what you leave in people.
Opelousas Police Chief Greg LeBlanc says it's important for new generations to understand the power of their roots.
It's very important that we fill our younger generations, our kids, with the information of who they are, where they come from, what their families did, to give them that pride to be able to get up and go out and do great things.
Absolutely important to honor those men and remember the past and the struggles that we have gone through as a nation to get from where we were to where we are, and you know, also realize the ones that we still have to overcome to continue moving forward.
Absolutely, Chris. Well said.
Lots to do, lots to get through, and at least in the short term, we've got to get through some pretty gusty winds out there, but it'll be warm while that happens. Quick look outside, one last check from our camera on top of the Cornell complex in downtown. Those clouds really taking over, and I think that today is really going to be just a cloudy day, although a few peaks of sunshine I think will be possible here and there. MoDOT camera 20th and Rangeline painting a better picture of just the straight up cloudy skies, but we're fairly mild this morning, especially in parts of Kansas, and we're going to be even warmer today than where we have been. Those temperatures, again, the further east you go, it's a little cooler. Still got a couple of upper 30s, Miami, Grove, Anderson. The rest of us on the east side, really in the low 40s. And as you head further west, we see a lot more mid-upper 40s out there, so definitely warmer. And bear in mind, our average lows are in the 20s. These are actually, especially Parsons, Chanute, and the Neodesha, that's above what our average high is for this time of year, and it's just coming up on 8 o'clock. So again, cloudy skies today, maybe a few peaks of sun. The winds will really start to pick up with those gusts by about, say, 10, 11 o'clock this morning. And they'll be gusting out of the south about 30 miles an hour or so be aware of that. Outside of that, temperatures today into the mid-60s. We're going to have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
I'm not coming out until Casey's has thin crust.
Rebellion. We're proud to salute Jess Davis, a 4-state hero.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A new manufacturing facility and jobs are coming to Miami. The announcement came at a ribbon-cutting ceremony yesterday afternoon. Valencia Pipe Company is the latest addition to Miami, Oklahoma. The California-based company will now be able to access a whole new part of the country. The facility will create large septic and water tanks. CEO Andrew Durbin says Miami is the perfect place to set up shop and looks forward to helping the community grow. A Joplin church hosted a fundraiser to support local refugees and immigrants. First Presbyterian Church of Joplin hosted a luncheon for $8 a plate. All the proceeds from the event went to the organization Raise. They help provide refugees and immigrants with resources and education to help them transition into a new home. First Presbyterian Church hosts charity luncheons every month during the school year. And Freeman Health yesterday revealed the theme for the 2024 5K Run and Walk for Autism. For the 5th straight year, these combined events raise funds to support program development and scholarship assistance for the Bill and Virginia Leffen Center for Autism. first place winner will be able to choose next year's theme. This year's theme, Walk, Run, and Roar, featuring dinosaurs.
And we've got ourselves a warm and cloudy and breezy day. South winds gusting upwards of 30 miles an hour, mid-60s for our highs. Could still have a few peaks of sun. Cloudy through the evening, winds increasing, gusting out of the south up to 35 tonight. Very mild, back into the low 50s under mostly cloudy skies. A few more peaks of sun tomorrow. A couple of isolated showers possible. Even warmer, even breezier, mid-upper 60s. Winds gusting out of the south 40 to 45. Not bad on Friday, still breezy and increasing clouds later in the day, a little cooler this weekend, warming back up next week.
And are you looking to say ta-ta to someone special in your life? Well, Pizza Hut is offering delivery of goodbye pies.
The new Hot Honey Pizza is a way for your bad news to be delivered sweetly. The new flavor has been gaining popularity as of late and is now the newest addition to the Pizza Hut menu. The goodbye pizzas are available now through Valentine's Day in select markets and only while supplies last.
Too funny.
I don't know. I mean, I guess that is an easy way to say goodbye. You get a free pizza out of the deal.
Right?
You're buying somebody else a pizza to tell them that you don't want to see them anymore. It's a win-win, I think.
Too funny.
Well, thank you all so much for letting us put the good in your morning.
We'll be back later today with more news and weather at noon.